Let's have a look, see if we are. It's recording anyway, so if it ain't gone live, it's recording. Oh, no, we have gone live. Wow. Hey. How you doing, guys? Okay, well, I've been playing about with the old settings and got back live again. Your phone is muted, but not signal. Okay. Something coming up there different. Let's have a quick listen to the feedback. Okay, that's interesting. Find out what that's all about. Just listening to feedback. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, hopefully that should work pretty well. I'm just going to try some sounds through it. Come through the headphones, all right, anyway. Seems to be working. Okay, getting a little different sound, different quality there. Well, that's good. That's good. At least I can pop that there. And now I've got something to monitor. So basically, this one here, I can see if anyone talks to me here, I can get back to you guys, which is pretty good. That's what I haven't been able to do the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's for some reason just not been able to get onto the right channel. So hopefully that's going quite well now. I'll put the microphone a bit closer to my mouth. It is recording, but it looks a bit and all. So that's, I always do a recording for a standby, or a standback. Your microphone is muted, but the sound signal, okay, yeah, the new recording is right, okay. Okay, let's pop that up there then. Hey Colin, how you doing, mate? I see you're playing, very good, you've got it at the right angle now, but what I was trying to tell you is you was only seeing this hand here. So what you need to do is bring your phone down, or camera, or whatever it is, just down a little bit more, and you'll get them bits. You were sort of just seeing half your keyboard and one hand playing. So a little bit of feedback there, I hope that helps anyway. And we got Jonathan there. Hi Jonathan, how's it going? Got a little box of tricks here. If I change the camera, I've got about 3 of them to play with there. So you have to come off one before you go on another. Hang about. Oh, wrong one. Too many cameras to play with now. That's the screen. If I wanted to show someone on a screen what's happening, I can do that. And also this one here. There you go. This little box of tricks here is a microphone preamp, but it's also, I can put my radio mic in here, and basically it's got a few little other tricks like you can do. It's got stuff that you'll enjoy here, Jonathan. It's got one of these noise changers, so if I press the button,
and I just talk there, you can just hear what I'm saying. It automatically sets it up like me.
Press it again, and you get this sort of sound, a little bit darker. It's kind of interesting to get used to.
And of course you got the one where it's in a bubble, a bit of a bubble, well not quite a bubble. Hang on. Is that it? Yep, that's it. That sounds like it. I think that's it.
Still getting used to it.
Off. No, that's got it. No.
Maybe you have to hold it down. Do you hold it down? Do we hold it down?
Hold it down. Flip. Hang on, let me try different settings.
Right, let's. Yeah, I'm back. It's amazing bit of kit. This is 35 quid. You've got the full control over your mic. You've got echo. You can do lots of things with your echo, or you can do no echo at all. It's an override to the mixer. You've also got your karaoke if you wanted to do karaoke stuff. Hang on, did you hold it down or what? 1, 2, 1, 2. Now that one keeps kicking out. Maybe you got too much. Is it any better? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Bit too much there. So it gives you a little bit more control over a thing. I'm still getting used to it, but you can actually Bluetooth about 3 phones on this thing. It's got so many settings. We've got treble, I've got mid, I've got my bass, record system, I've got left and right on there. We've got voiceover, we've got, bloody hell, we've got loads of things. Special effects and all. Very cool. Bing, bing, bing. We've got a seal.
Awesome!
Oh, well, there you go. And then a little bit of a sample there. They thought it funny. What that was. More audience. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Loads of effects on this thing. And the last one.
I love it! You guys are so great!
Oh dear, loads. You've also got some other settings, that's on prime settings. If we go to recording settings, then that gives a bit more depth and everything. Oh my god, it does, doesn't it? 1, 2, 1, 2. Kicking itself out though. You've got pro settings, where you can do some more pro settings on there. You've got pop settings. You've got your mic change, you can change your mic over, change the settings on there. Obviously you've got your voice changes, 1,
2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
And then you got there.
We go back to that one.
Shift to C major.
sorry,
C major.
really?
Shift to D major.
What you made, yeah?
D major.
Okay, I'll have to read about that one. And then, of course, you got the karaoke one when you want to do some singing, sort of it opens the depth a bit like. And you've got the control for bass, mid or treble on your voice. So yeah, it's an amazing bit of kit. You charge it up and you can take it anywhere, like it's only connected to the mixer like, and I've got my microphone. That's the what's that? Receiver. That's the receiver to my headset mic, and then you charge it up from that. And yeah, it's amazing. So hopefully that's sounding all good to you guys, and there's a little bit of a run round to show what it's all like. But the image I've got on here at the moment is all landscape. If you can see, it's all landscape. down here you see it's all landscape. Problem is that on when I record it with the phone, it's portrait, and I really wanted to record it in landscape, but if you do it on Facebook, it wants to change it back, and it don't want you to do it. Now, it's okay when you play it back with landscape in Facebook, but then when you change it, it won't let you change, and it looks bad. If you put it through a YouTube channel, which I do later, as you know, and then you've got two black marks each side. So there must be a way of doing it. I suppose Jonathan would know all about that. Of course, you're the camera guy, aren't you? But going through Streamlabs, this software here, hang on, let's show you on the screen. Yeah, going through this software on Streamlabs, there's my cameras down here. This is just doing a mirror image of what it's showing it. Over here is the volumes. Only got one for the mixer, because everything goes into the mixer, so it made sense just to have one sort of input straight into the telly. We are recording at the moment, and sometimes the last 2 weeks when I couldn't get online, this thing automatically records, so that's too bad. It's like a bit of a backup. Over this side here we've got the chat. Well, that don't seem to work for some reason. It just tells me how many's in there. That's why I monitor it on my phone. It's coming up on the phone okay. I can see that Jonathan's on there, Colin's in there. I'll try that. Oh yeah, try that setting, Colin. It's basically you get in one hand, and you're not really seeing the best of you playing the keyboard. That's the thing. But I think you'll be all right at that. It's good camera. You've actually got it. I can't believe you've actually got it to go landscape. You'll have to tell me the secret how you've done that, because my phone decides it don't want to do that. That's why I'm having problems. I really want to get it landscape on the one downstairs. So that's why I'm having to have it over my head at the moment, so people can see what left hand and right hand is. But that didn't work, because last week it was right hand and left hand. And I thought, I don't believe this. My phone just don't want to do things like that for some reason. So yeah, so this basically is how I run things. There's loads of things you can do, but I don't go too much into it, because if I go too much into it, I'll lose it. So there's the new one, that's the new camera, and that's the one just here, taking a picture of the Technics, which is not even on. There you go, it's on there. So yeah, it's all coming together steadily now. What I have to remember is to take one off to put one on. So if I went on that one, and take that one off, then I put that one back to there. Because you've got so many cameras now, you've got to take one off before you can take the other one on. So if I clicked that one off and went to this camera, that's the one there, and I click that one off and go to this camera, then that goes back to there. So, but you got to remember to switch one off to put one on, otherwise it doesn't fit. So yeah, there you go. So that's been my week. Yeah, so just one bit of bad news. I had a very good friend that passed away this week, so bit of a bagger, but unfortunately that's what happens. We get old. What's that? Image quality is fantastic. Yeah, I've got them really going well now through this Streamlabs software. As I say, you can actually now go this way or that way. Well, basically, obviously, this is the way it's better. Because then when you can transfer this onto YouTube, you don't lose any of the quality. But if I recorded it on the phone, unfortunately, what happens then is it only shows that bit and then two big gaps each side. Because it didn't record that landscape. But as you know, Facebook will not let you record landscape on the mobile phones. They used to. Why they've stopped it now, I don't know. It's just bad. It's real bad, really, because it's crafty, really. I think it's done it so you can't put it on YouTube, or you look stupid having it on YouTube, which yes, you do. Yeah, you've got like you cut down the side there, and then basically you've got two black spaces each side, and big black spaces and all. He's made the format completely worse, so basically you can't actually transfer it over. I know what Mr. Zuckerberg thought of, and yeah, but it's made it awkward for some phones, because like mine, it won't actually flip the flipping thing over, and then if you did it automatically or manually, what happens then is it keeps telling you to flip it back. So yeah, but never mind. I mean, this now is, as you can see, the quality is 4K on all cameras. If I go to this one here, even this camera's 4K, and I think this one's 4K and all. Hang on, that's that one. Yeah, they're all 4K. Anyway, let's just make sure that's locked off. To make sure these are locked off, otherwise we've got two cameras that's not doing that. So if I put that one on, and that one on, switch that one off. So by doing it manually, switching one off and putting the other one on, then basically it makes it easy, because it doesn't take too much power out. You've got more power to go on the other one, and you probably see what's going on here. I've got a little light, because the other one wouldn't go around. So if I go back up here, now my light is going round, and it's giving these disco effects, which you would see quite well if basically I didn't have all the lights on, I suppose. If I click that one off, let's have a think I can do this. It's still quite bright light, isn't it? It just goes round and round and round. If I go up to here, you can see it going round and round. Hang on, there you go. So we've got a little bit of a different effect going round. So you just put it into your light socket. It's not got much of a spread, that one. The other one was better, I think, for the spread, but that's all right. It's a bit of movement, isn't it? So if I go to here, and we'll do some music. Thank you. Okay, bit of Blondie then. equalizer. Toys. Ah, interesting. I'm watching myself back about 10 seconds. That's quite cool. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, let's have a look. What we got the old sound there.
D major.
B major.
Shift to F major.
Really?
F major.
Major.
Shift to G major.
Right, okay, cool. Well, what we got to say about that one then?
It's pretty good, yeah. Bit blondie, light blondie, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yes, that's good,
Yeah, light blondie, good. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think we're back. Yes, I'm getting used to these sounds steadily now. It's quite cool, actually. Right, where were we? Yeah, so a bit of blondie there, and it sounds like I lost my echo. Where's my echo gone? We're on the natural sound system. If I go back to this one, yeah, that's gone a little bit more. Oh, there you go. There we go. We can have a bit more depth, or not so much depth. Reverb, echo. That's quite clear, actually, isn't it? I don't quite need all the echo. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that come through pretty well. I've got it balanced quite nicely on the headphones now. It's coming through just about right. Yeah. Right. I'll carry on now then. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's that one I did last week, wasn't it? The old space sound. What was that? A funky beat. Interesting. Oh, let's try that one. Actually, there's one thing I want to tell you guys. Colin, I got a great idea for you. If you want to make some money, there's that thing I'm promoting at the moment with one of these guys. It's a German website. What he's done, there's actually got a guy that's made a website which should have come out before the streaming. It's like a rental site. You rent your music to play. So say you got £10, you put £10 in a box on this website and you use that to listen to your music. A little bit different to Spotify because you're not paying £10 or £15 a month to listen to your music and all that, because that way you're spending £10. But this way, it's a lot cheaper, because every time you listen to a music, if you're listening to a track, the cheapest that you can buy a track for is £1. On this website, you can listen to it for 10p. And it's kind of a thing that hopefully, if it takes off, it could be your next Spotify, basically, but the fairer Spotify, because it's making money for the artists. Because not only if someone, say one person listens to one track and you charge them 10 pence, let me go and get into the old other camera. There you go. Wrong one. No, not that one. Too many buttons. You know. Go away. Yeah. So basically, this website's exactly. You put your music on as an artist, and you put whatever music on, much music as you want, and you're charging 10p for people to listen to the music, which is you have a 30-second preview, and if they want to listen to it, then they press the button, pay their 10p, and they listen to the whole track. Only thing is, this is not a storing one. You can't store it. It is just basically a listening thing. So probably it might be best to actually put the price down to 1p, actually. on a track. And then when you think of it, you're going to earn 1p, okay? So that's 1p you've earned from one track that you one person has listened to. Now, believe it or not, by having that 1p for one track that one person's listened to, you've made more money than Spotify will ever give you for making 400,000 tracks or 400,000 streams, because that's what you've got to do to make 1p. It's such a rip-off that fucking Spotify is. And I'm pleased that this has come along because it'll give artists a chance to actually make more money. So say you've got 150 tracks out there, and say 50 people listen to your 1p track, so there's 50p or something like that. But you've got 50p listening to loads of tracks. You're going to actually make money. It won't be a lot, but it will be better than listening to, well, giving your music away for them to use, and try and rip off the customers, because that's what they're doing. They're charging £9 a month, £16 a month for a family thing. I mean, you add that up in a year, that's a flipping fortune. But say you put £10 in a little kitty on this website, and you use that £10 to listen to whatever music you want for 1p a track. You know, it's a no-brainer, is it? And even if the artist got 50 or 60 pound, 50, 60 pence, something like that, it earned lots more money. He's actually got that money in his back. He's got money coming in. Because I'll tell you what, Spotify, you have to wait for 3 months before you actually get the payment, what 3 months was back. So if it was low then, you'll only get a shitload of thing that you 2 or 3 pence. But most I've picked up as 10 pence, I think. And that was on 12,000 tracks. Now 12,000 tracks, you know, that could have been 12,000, £1.50, could have been nearly £100 actually, thinking about it, if you did it this way. So there's a thing for you, Colin. I'll link it out. Have a look on my website, actually. No, actually, have a look on the profile on my Facebook, and I think it's on there. There's one album I've got on there, and it links over to this place. He was a CEO, actually, of a big company, so he set this website up himself and taken on Spotify. And when I was talking to him on Linux, he's, you know, a nice guy. It's his CEO, it's his website and that, this German guy. He's got a great idea of how things are working on this. So I said, yes, I'll try and push it as much as I can, like, because if you wanted to make £250 and you was a big artist and you was making one stream, 120,000 streams, let's say that, you would get about just under £100, I think. What a rip-off, you know. Because Mr. Daniel, whatever his name is, of Spotify, he'll be in his yacht and they'll pay for a bit more fuel for it, won't it? You know, so he don't give a damn about it. He's laughing his head off, he is. All these people that's paying stupid amounts to subscribe and all that. So basically, your £10 could go for 4 or 5 months, like, you know, if you stuck 50 quid in there, in your jackpot, you could use that for 3 or 4 years. See, think how much money you're going to save, you know, by doing it this way instead of actually doing it on Spotify. And more artists are coming off Spotify because they're absolutely ripped off, or fed up with them, using their music and that. And they actually are coming over to sites like this. But this one's not been along for it's been out a few years, but it's starting to get quite a few artists on now. So sooner or later you will get your own artists in there, or new artists. There's lots out there. We get our own page, and so basically it's exactly the same format as Spotify, but it's not an expensive site to run because they're not having big servers to store things. They are using the music to hire it out, as you call it. So basically, you pay as you go. So if you listen to your track, you pay £1 for that track. You know, if you wanted to record it, I suppose you could record it if you want, because now these phones, they'll actually record by screen grabs and things like that. So you can do it that way if you want. But also, you know, the artists are actually going to get paid proper money, and it goes straight into their PayPal account, and they get paid there and then on that date. You know, it's a no-brainer. Nice bit of spare cash, like, you know, but you actually are making something. This is why I've never streamed. I've never put my music on streaming, because it's such a rip-off. It always has been a rip-off. And I was dead against it loads and loads of times. I think once it did start going on, because when I actually got a distributor, tried it just for a start when I first started, you know, they put it on these streaming sites, and I didn't really want them on, but it was in their thing. So eventually I did get them off, and I vowed never, ever again to put them onto any other streaming sites again, which I won't. I only use the ones where I like BANDCAMP, you actually, you know, sell your music. Not at big prices and that. I mean, digital streams, you can't charge a lot of digital streams. So on BANDCAMP, I charge about £1 or £1.50 something for a track, but I charge £5 for an album, and that track's got about 10 tracks on. So, you know, it's cheaper to buy the album, £5. I only get £3.50 out of it, like, because BANDCAMP take their bit, like, so it's just to get the music out there. But this other way is like having a jukebox and putting your money in at a dinner, you know, a drive-in dinner thing, like, you know. It's a jukebox, really. It's an online jukebox, but the artists are actually getting this money. They take a little bit out, but you actually are getting, and it's fair for the artist, but it's also fair for the customer, because he's not paying a stupid man minimum of £9. I know it is that a month, you know, £9 a month. Okay, that sounds pretty good, but that £9 would go a long way if you're only using tracks which are about £1 a track. You know, how many would you get out now for £10? That's 1,000 tracks, isn't it? Something like that. I mean, you did that, you'd only have to do it every probably 3 or 4 months. So you've saved 1 9, 2 9, 12, 20, 30, 1 9, 9, 2 9, 18, 3, 27. Probably £30 you probably saved by using about £10. So you've saved £20, haven't you, easily? So, you know. Check it out, see what you think. Have a go at it, Colin, see what you think. Right, where were I? Sorry. Got that one. Got that many cameras there. Oh, thank you. Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. Yeah, we got some silly effects in here, I'll tell you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, Russell's in there. Hello, Russell. How you doing? Very nice work. Thank you. Yes, it's a nice little setup, and I'm monitoring everything through my headphones and that. I'll show you. No, that's the wrong one. I've got cameras everywhere here. There you go. That's me with all this lot on. Someone's sleeping next door, so made it so it's sounds like you're in a studio and it's nice and loud and that, but it's only in the headphones and whatever you're hearing. And we're also live. So yeah, it's and of course this little voice box is
kind of funny. It makes different sounds, and you change little voices.
And it can do all things like that.
And if I press the button, it makes a bit of a sound. Yes, it does.
And it goes really deep, actually. So hang on.
But then you got to figure out how to put it back. There's lots of buttons.
Yes, lots of buttons.
ah, there you go. That's the button that I wanted to get back. Oh dear. Yeah, not bad. It's something nice. I hope the sound was coming through nice and gentle and relaxing. And what we are doing here, Russell is playing synthesizers which are 40-year-old easily. These are top of the range jobbies. They were about 11 grand back in the 80s, I think. That was a lot of money then. Now they are very rare. They're all Casios, these are top of the range Casios, professional ones. And then you've got professional Technics over there. And I've even set a camera up for that one. And because it's a nice, relaxing sound, I actually retuned these to 432, which is not 440, 432. Everyone says it should be 440, but it shouldn't be, because it should be 432. Very rare musicians playing 432, but I'm one of them. I've done it since I was, 9-year-old, I think. My dad was 432, my granddad was 432, and they were mostly accomplished musicians. Interesting, and I'll play by ear. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, if you have a look on, where are we on now? We're on Facebook, yeah. If you look at any of those links there, they go off to different places. Got 333 songs, 35 albums. Some things are a blend of sounds which are made for relaxation. Check it out, it's mostly on BANDCAMP. But I also still do. I've got a company that can do my albums. There you go. So they make lovely albums, I tell you, really lovely albums. Look at the quality of these. And that's an AI photo I did. And then I just sent it to this company, and they send it all out like that. All nicely made, top quality stuff. That's your vinyl one, and then you've got your CD. CD's quite cool and all, like, because it opens out like that, and it opens like that, and it back like that, and you can listen to all these on the the sound that the track. This one's 432 Relax. It's more of your drone sound, really. Basically, a one tone. It's kind of jumps about a bit and skips around a bit. Brilliant for the ears and very good for relaxation. And that's the ones I always show people, because that's the ones I've made. And yes, I've got quite a few records. I was a DJ many years ago, although I've still got the gear. I just play around the care homes now. But yeah, 3,000 records. Everyone used to go to a gig and someone would go, oh, I've got loads of vinyl, I don't know what to do with them. Do you want them? And then what happens? Yeah, you store with them. So I've got 3,500 records there, all Motown stuff up there. I've got all more records around me here. So eventually I'm steadily selling them off at the moment, which is quite cool. And I've got some quite rare ones and all. You've probably heard of the Sun Studios down in Nashville, I think it is, wherever it is. Original Tammy Motion ones. Tammy, yeah. That's Stevie Wonder. The Stevie Wonder there. These are worth hundreds and hundreds. These are just the singles. So God knows what that was, right? But we'll get there. Selling them on eBay, get 40, 50 quid a time, actually. So it's worth keeping. I was going to get rid of more for £3,000. Like says there are 3,000 records, £3,000. No one come up. I thought, well, you're an idiot because you could have made 9, 10, 15,000 easily. But never mind. Now I've got to sell them all myself, and I'm enjoying it. I've even got a little photo booth in the other room. My other room, I've got an office there with a nice little photo booth on the actual desk, and I grab a record, take a photo of it, stick it on eBay, and they fight all over it, left, right and centre. You only put it on for, I don't know, £10, £15 for a starting bid, and they God blimey, go 50, 60, 70 £70. So then when I feel like having a bit more food, I think, oh, I'll go shopping tomorrow, so I'll go and sell another record. Haven't got down to the best stuff down here. Beatles, White Album, Pink Floyd. Yeah, they'll go for a little bit more, I think. Okay, I feel like doing something different. What are we going to do? It's quite nice, isn't it? Rock. Is that a rock? Let's see what that is. Got a good sound to it, isn't it? Tell you what, let's do a little bit of choir. Actually, I do a 60s. There you go. Oh dear. I got my instant audience with me here. I tell you, it's unbelievable.
I love it. You guys are so great.
Shh, here's the fire. Thank you. So there you go. Yeah. So a little bit of quote there. That come through pretty well. I'm quite happy with that. Wasn't quite the right rhythm I was looking for, but we wound it up a bit. It was actually a ballad, believe it or not. That actually goes at this speed. Very, very slow. But I sort of wound it up a little bit, as you do. Yeah. Got some good sounds, isn't it, coming through this pretty well. That's a bit slow, isn't it? Okay, let's do another quote then. Let's do the Wanderer. Now we got a little shuffle. Actually change cameras for you guys. You can see how it all works. All my jobs. think how this other one goes. Let's I think. It is a rhythm and all. I have to remember what that one is. That fits really well, that, doesn't it? Spirit of the Sky, isn't it? That's the trouble when you play by ear, you get so many that can match. See, that matches pretty well with that. I've gone back to the first one again now. Come back to that one again. So the Spirits of the Sky, and it's Spirits of the Sky. Wow. Yeah, killing the dead horse on that one, if you keep going on that one. But yeah, that matches too well to Spirit of the Sky, doesn't it? It's the same rhythm, everything's all the same, you see, so that's where when you play by ear, you think, well, I could run from that one and then jump onto that one, or I could go on that one and then transpose up for that one. But then, of course, you can actually get mixed up with the same ones that's very, very close to each other. And having no listeners at all and no reading the music or anything and just being able to play at 9-year-old. Yeah, that's the only downfall. But basically, I don't usually get it wrong. But it's good fun when you do, because then you can learn by it. So now I know that song will go with that song, but now I've just got to remember how the second one goes, so I don't mix up the first one. Love it. Okay. Oh, I like that. This thing at the top here came out at the same time as when the C85 came out. When the C85 was made famous by Blade Runner. Because it was the one that Vangelis made to do all that stuff. This is the other version that sort of they put together, that not a Yamaha, Casio, their version at the time. That's why it's got all Vangelis stuff in. They brought an all singing and dancing one out, and this was this one. This came under £2,500 in 1982. 82, 83, something like that, which was like close 12, 13, 15,000 like in our times. But the sounds are absolutely amazing, really are. And it does some fantastic sounds. It's got some good rhythms with it and all. Here's another one of the Vangelis. you go. A couple there from Vangelis. First one was Chariots of Fire. And where's my audience going? Thank you. And there you go.
Love it. You guys are so great.
Oh, gosh, she's back again. Thank you. So basically, that was a little bit the older Euro, actually. It's actually a Euro pop. Normally, it's on a different rhythm to that. Hang on, stop. Quiet. Okay. So, yeah, that's a Euro pop at 143 beats per minute. With the old Vangelis stuff on there and the sounds. So it's just like the old Vangelis stuff. Bit of Blade Runner in there. And of course, we could do a little bit of the old Jean-Michel Jarre stuff. We don't like Jean-Michel. Oh, that's different. That's not quite Jean-Michel, is it? It's quite cool though. Nice sound. Yeah, don't really go right, you know, the one I've got my eye on anyways. Synthesizer, techno 2. That was interesting. So that bulb lasted a little. And he just stuck that one in the other day. That was the rotating bulb that went round. Obviously, it couldn't cope with the pressure. I only bought that the other day. One of them little rotating balls. Got a bit dark in here now. Now let's put another light on. There you go. So there you go. That was a little bit of the old Jean-Michel. Change cameras. There we go. Yeah, that bulb there. It went bang, and blew the bulb. Obviously, it didn't want to get too hot. Couldn't stand the heat, as you would say. So, right. Now I've showed you all those cameras. I'm going to show you this camera, when I can find it. No, that's what I'm looking at. Is it that one? The new camera. There you go. And it's showing my PSR S500. Now this one, no it's not, it's showing my Technics SNK 6000. This baby, a little bit different. It's got some rare sounds of this one, lass. So, yeah, this is the Technics SXKN 6000. Now, this came out in the 90s. This followed that one. They're all top-of-the-range jobbies. And this one is a little bit more technical, got a bit more things on it. Got a few pads on there, do some weird things. I mean, if you look at my YouTube, you'll see me, I've gone over nearly all of this lot, and all of them, and all of the others, and the other two keyboards downstairs. So we've got 6 all together, and my regulars know that, because we do the Sunday chill later tomorrow. Well, it's today, tomorrow. Keep forgetting, because I work at nights. Well, somebody sleeps, and I work at night, and then well, we sort of share the house, basically. We're together, but apart. How do you work that one out, eh? Pretty cool. So I work at night, and I sleep at day, and then basically do all my work in the studio at night time. But we own half the house each, so it's a little bit of a problem there, so we can't sort of disappear just like that. It's a planned affair, so anyway, no problem. Working on it. Okay, so this is why I've got this set up all around my head and everything, so it doesn't disturb anyone, because basically I'm just talking quietly now. So, but you lot can hear me, because I'm more amped up a bit, as you say. So, let's see what we got on the bank, shall we? Let's have a look. We've got all sorts of things here. We've got some stuff for Colin here. He likes his ballroom stuff. So we've got ballroom stuff there. We've got a bit of Brazil. I told you Sam did that pretty whoa. So yeah, there's quite a few different sounds in this one. Let's look. We've got Brazil, we've got Stranger on the Store, we've got More and More, we've got Lines Released Tonight, we've got When They Begin, Spanish Eyes, on there for Colin, he's always in Spain. I don't know where you get them good jobs, I tell you. Let me know if you get a hotel over there that wants a keyboard player. Although it's quite hot over there at the moment, we think it's hot over here, but it's bloody hot over there apparently. It gets into the 40s. And then we got the Bolero, and then we got Sunny Spain. So that's in the Latin. So there's about eight different banks of 8. So basically, you've got 10 in each bank. So there's about 8 different styles. So you've got 8 styles. So altogether, with your different 8 styles, you've possibly now got it 80 different songs in the memories, really, the panel memories. And I've got a USB drive down here, so it could take thousands and thousands, but I've never got around to putting it in here. And then you've got loads of others here and all. I know, I'm echoing. So if I press the next bank, we've got love songs, we've got synthesizer stuff, we've got pop songs, we've got old-time songs, and I've just been building it all up. So basically, you take your rhythm, it's the same rhythm, your normal rhythm, what you'd have on the keyboard, then you store that into a bank, and then you just rename it, and that's all you have to do. If you play by ear like me, anyways, that's the easiest way to do it. Although basically, once you've got it, if you play by music, then basically you could do it that way. So, but that's how we do it. It's like with the Taurus, it's a little bit of a longer process, but it's more of an easier way on the Taurus because you just press favourites. If you're in the normal styles, you've got 1,185 styles. So all you do is basically you press favourite. There's a favourite button there that puts it straight into the favourite bank, and then that bank basically is you can go into that bank, and because you've actually saved it into a blank bank, you can actually change all the stuff. You can't change it around in the original bank, but if you just copied it into the other one, then you can change all the wording around and everything. But I just basically pop it into that, save it, and then change the words. I don't muck about with programming or redoing this, and everything here is all live. I don't believe in storing anything, or basically, I just basically have whatever the keyboards have here. So really, I am a human, not a robot. Which is the best way to be, and this AI is going to be good, but people are going to get fed up with it soon. It's going to be too good, and people are going, yeah, well, that's all right, just listening to it, but I want to hear someone make a mistake. There you go, bring in the human. And playing by ear, you get more of a chance to stay in there, stay in the game. Okay, this is Elton John. John. Elton John. Oh, let's change your camera. So if I take that one off and put that one on. Oh, that one on. There you go. I can just jump from that camera to that camera. That's good. So yeah, that's me techniques. Let me just have a drink. I completely lost track of time, but there you go. Never mind, I hope you're enjoying it anyway. We've been going nearly 2 hours now. Crikey. Blimey. But yeah, there's loads of different ones on here. We've got Dancing Party, we've got 60s, we've got Quo, Quos. This one's Living on an Island. There you go, a little bit of the old Quo there, and Living on an Island. Got some nice sounds, lovely sounds. Let's do another favourite of Quo, if you're into Quo. This one was made by Rick Parford, and this one is Margarita Time. go. Dear. I had to laugh the other day because I had quite a few people I was talking to, and they says, do you actually really play them, or are they backing grounds? I says, yes, I actually play it. He says, well, I can't see your fingers move on that, the one in the middle. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll set up a camera so you can actually see it all working. and that's that one. And after that, he was all apologetic. He said, oh, sorry, yes, you are actually playing it like that. I said, yeah, of course I'm playing it. That's one good thing when you play by ears. You don't have to go with timings. You don't have to do that. If you want to go transpose up or transpose down, you just do it. My ears are tuned for that much spot-on sounds that I can bring this like in like an orchestra. Like, you know, I just have things running normal standards and then just bring different sounds in. So that's how I learn my music, and I just put it into different categories, and then I just press into whichever I want. So this is about rock and roll. How about a bit of Teddy Bear? Love it. Okay, and we can also do something a little bit different. Can you guess what it is? Any ideas? How about this? There you go. If you close your eyes, you could even think it's on a radio. That's a good thing about playing by 432. You are tuned to the mind. Not tuned to what the Rockefellers wanted you to tune to. Yeah, because they took all the bells down in the 60s and replaced them from 432, which was the proper tone, to 440, which you have nowadays. And that's one of the reasons why musicians can't play over 5 hours or 2 hours. Because the sound of it gets repetitive and the audience would be going away anyway. But you play 432, you could play all night. I played 4 hours at a wedding and no one told me to stop. I was loving it. They were loving it. There's something in it, I tell you. There's something in it. So anyway, that's a bit of rock and roll stuff. The other one is rock and roll Christmas. I usually play at Christmas time. Rock and roll. That's on that one. Then you got the big ball stuff. And then if you go like this one, this is the big band. can't we? A bit of Glenn Miller. And obviously, if you play by ear, you can do this one, probably one of the hardest ones apparently. That's what I've been told, but I've done it so many times, so I don't even think about it. The Veneers Waltz. Just like that. I do love playing the keyboard. Okay, moving on. Yeah, there's loads on this keyboard. And it's just, at the time I decided whatever to play at the time. I think it could be from anything really, any era. And then I ended up making albums, and if you go to BANDCAMP and look for DJ Steve Francis, or I think it's Steve Francis now, just Steve Francis, Stephen Francis, that's it. You'll see a guy there with a picture of me with 3 keyboards at the back of me. Then you know you got the right guy. And there's 38 albums there to choose from, all £5 a piece. There's 10 tracks on each, so you've got a variation of everything. Unless you want to pay for the one track, and that's £1.50 each. But it's best really, to tell you the truth, buy the album £5. It's digital albums, they're all digital on there. And if you haven't gone to BANDCAMP, check out BANDCAMP. You don't have to join or anything. and or you can do if you want. And then if you want to follow me, just follow me, and I'll keep you up to date with all the other stuff going on. Because there's loads. There actually is loads. Well, a lot of people like ABBA, don't they? Let's do a melody. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. With all the effects. Hang on, let's get some cameras. There you go. We're back. Thank you very much for joining us. I got lost track in time as usual. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you like some of this music, check out BANDCAMP. Check out all the links. All them links will go somewhere. I've even got these things like, look, there's a bloke there playing the keyboard. And there's another one here. I've got a dark hat. Look at that. That's a dark hat. So we've got all the merchandise. If you want to pop over. Used to be a DJ, look at that. DJ Steve Francis. And I've even got a mug here, another one. DJ Steve Francis. They're all available on the online there. You just buy them, tell them where you are, and they'll post it right to you. And also the vinyls, they're the same. You just buy them online and it comes straight to you. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Me and my little studio. So take care, guys. Check me out for the Sunday Chill downstairs. There is a star system thing here, like it's a tipping thing if you want to give some money. Thank you very much. It all goes towards these little things. Toys.
I love it. You guys are so great.
Yeah, no, later on.
Later on. Shh. It's very quiet.
I'll meet you over there.
Okay, right, whoa, stop. Where the hell is it?
I will get used to this eventually. There's so many buttons and dials on there that does things. Oh, it's another one. Thank you very much. So wait a minute, not ready yet. There you go. So yeah, just getting used to all this lot. But lots more to come. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. I will see you later on the Sunday Chill downstairs with the other two keyboards and hopefully the thing on my head showing you how I play it, but my phone decides to do left to right, right to left for some reason. So we have to sort that one out. There's something not quite right there. And take care. Don't get too hot tomorrow. I'll probably be asleep half the time. I'll get up about when it cools down. Take care, guys. See you soon. Oh, we got carried away there, didn't we? Wow.